We are watching one of the big games in the Championship. Preston second and looking to close the gap on Cardiff. Leeds United looking to prove that they are resurgent under new manager Dennis Wise. Preston with just one change, David Nugent coming in. We're getting underway 15 minutes later than we should, but the atmosphere is building nicely as if it were kicking off on time. Preston it will be to get the game underway, kicking from right to left. McKenna launches it towards the left flank. It's headed away. Butler, and Preston can pick it up, and it's Simon Whaley, shapes to shoot and then tries to lay it into the centre for Nugent. It's picked up, and on that far side Adam Johnson brings the ball forward, and as you can hear, former Preston player Richard Cresswell dispossessed to the delight of the home fans. On ball played forward, Butler heads it away, and they'll be busy tonight, the Preston fans, if they're going to boo all the former Preston faces in the Leeds ranks all evening. There's three of them. And it could be a tiring evening for the average Preston fan. Good foot in, takes the ball away in the centre. Offside flag up on the far side, and that's going to be a free kick to Leeds. Plays a little 1-2, gets it back, pokes it on towards the edge of the area. Dichio leaves it and gets the ball back. He lays the ball out wide now. And there's Whaley back in proceedings, playing the ball low in towards the centre. Good pressure this from Preston, and they have the ball back here. And no undue effect felt, I think, on that far side for Whaley. Good ball forward. And still Leeds dilly-dallying at the back, and there's Nugent with a rifled effort just past the corner of the upright and crossbar and behind, but that was Leeds giving the ball away, and Preston almost taking full advantage then. Ball played forward through the centre. Dichio battling for the ball as always at the back against Kilgallon. Two Preston players getting in the way of each other there, and Alexander and McKenna, two experienced players who probably should know better, but Alexander does very well to get that ball back to Nash, who can play it away left-footed, manages to do so. Down this right flank it goes. Bit of defending, Kelly doesn't do particularly well there, and Pugh and Nugent down the left-hand side, can they exploit that? They can, with Nugent cutting in, playing a good right-footed ball. There's Dichio, and there's a great goal for Preston North End. A fantastic ball from the left-hand side from David Nugent, and Dichio nubs in his fourth in 3 home games. It's Preston 1, Leeds United 0.
Fantastic play there by Danny Pugh. Great ball to Nugent. Nugent saying Gary Kelly, great ball. I said if we keep putting the ball in the box, then we're going to get a chance. And Dichio's on the end of that, and in off the post, there was no chance there for, as you've called him tonight, the pumpkin.
Dichio and Nugent will be absolutely thriving on the crosses we've had so far, because the quality's been really good so far.
So the Graham Stack, dubbed the pumpkin, launches the ball forward. It's his fantastically coloured kit. It is Halloween after all. Ball down the right-hand side, and look at the pace of Nugent cutting into the centre. He got it on the front post, he's got support in the middle, and it's knocked into the back of the net. And Preston have 2-goal lead here. I think it was Pugh coming through the centre who's just missed sight at the last moment. But Preston have a 2-goal lead, and it is all too easy for the home side.
Absolutely brilliant there. I mean, as we said, when you get a goal, the 5 minutes between the goal is so important, and as Leeds have just shown now how vulnerable they are. But what a run from Nugent, absolutely unbelievable pace against Butler, and he's picked his man out, Pugh, waiting for him in the Midland. Great finish, and that's 2-0, great start for him.
He must have been really hurting on Friday night when he missed that local derby, and he's come out absolutely flying so far, and absolutely perfect start. I mean, all that's missing from his game is a goal, but there's no reason why he can't get on the score sheet tonight the way he's playing.
Here he is now, controlling the ball and laying it off with style down that left-hand side. McKenna plays a good ball through the centre. Pugh's running out. Out comes Stack. Pugh gets there first and brings Pugh down. The referee says no free kick, and protestations from Pugh go completely ignored by the referee. And well, I thought he was hard done by that. I thought he got round Stack. It was a clumsy challenge, perhaps not deliberate. It's not been an entire horror show for Leeds just yet, but we shall see by the end of the evening if any more goals are put past the pumpkin away to our left-hand side. all orange this evening. Graham Stack for the visitors. There's McKenna out to Hill, back to McKenna, switches play out wide. Great stuff this from Preston, so confident on the ball, laid off, pulled back right-footed, and the centre. Can Nugent get on the end of it? He pulls it back. There's Sedgwick with a low effort, saved by Stack, but does it fall to Dichio? It does. Can he pull it back into the centre? Stack is stranded. The ball back into the middle, but it's going to go behind for a corner. But really, Preston lining up to try and turn that ball behind, and agonisingly Dichio just couldn't quite turn it back into the centre, Neal.
A good effort there from the edge of the box, and I just thought Deeks was just going to knock it in, but Stack's done really well to get back, but again, good pressure from us.
I don't want to put the mockers on proceedings, but they haven't really looked like gifting anything to the visitors, and it would have to take something, I think, catastrophic, because Leeds have been lacking in ideas. No real shake-up of the formation as I can see from the visitors in the second half. I thought myself they might take more off and change it around a little bit, but Preston come away down the right-hand side in the meanwhile. As Alexander plays a great ball through the legs of the Leeds defender in towards the centre from Whaley, and turned into the back of the net by that man David Nugent, who is on fire. He's set up two, and now he's converted the third, and that's what we were talking about. A great start to the second half. Preston lead by 3 goals to 0, and that was just what Preston wanted, Neal.
Yeah, we said at half-time we were talking about Nugent's involvement in the goal, and we said that he deserved the goal, and I didn't think he'd score it as early as that, but absolutely brilliant work again from side down the right, and just a great ball across, and he's just touched it in the right place at the right time as well. Good strikers do. What a great start, absolutely delighted.
Preston trying to get hold of the ball as Leeds take it from the left in towards the centre, and then switch flanks to the right hand side to bring the ball over the halfway line. Derry has it in the middle, plays it again back down this left flank for Lewis. Lewis with support in front of him, finds his man outside him on this left side in Cresswell. Cresswell getting a less than warm welcome from Preston fans all evening. He's back towards the far post, and there is a goal from former Preston favourite David Healy to make it Preston 3, Leeds 1. Leeds have had more possession in this second half. They don't really deserve to get that goal. Let's not have a nervous last 10 minutes. Ball forward, and Preston growing in, well, Leeds rather growing in confidence as Healy tries a long-range effort which Nash has to palm round the far post, and well, concentration needed here, Neal. Don't want to let themselves down in the final throws of this game. And white shirts are lined in the centre. It's towards that far post, and Graham Stack collects reasonably comfortably in the end, although white shirts were lingering around him. Ball forward. Hill gets underneath it, heads it away, but Preston have it in Blake rather. Blake cutting in towards the edge of the box. It was a good tackle, as Neal Mellor pointed out, from Graham Alexander. Whaley with 2 white shirts in the centre finds the first in Paul McKenna, and he plays it across towards that far side. Nugent's out wide, Dichio's in the centre. Lewis Neal's shot takes a deflection, and into the back of the net it goes. It wasn't deliberate, but he won't care. It's 4-1, and Neal's deflected shot re-establishes that 3-goal lead. Preston 4, Leeds 1, and Neal, well, a little bit of luck, but it will certainly ease fears of a nervous last 10 minutes here at Deepdale.
Yeah, they deserve that, and like you said earlier on in the game, really, if you don't shoot, you don't score. So he's had a pop, and we've got a bit of a lucky deflection, but we definitely deserve that. And I'm pleased for Lewis, because he's been in and out of the team, and he's done really well in the reserve from what I've seen.
Deep cross towards the edge of the 6-yard box, headed back into the centre and off the crossbar, and Preston just need to clear ranks here, make sure they don't give a second away, which they really don't deserve. Now they're on the break with Ormerod, and there's the final whistle from the referee. In the end, it was a very accomplished performance by Preston North End, very comfortable indeed. They were good for at least a 3-goal cushion. They could have had more. It's finished Preston 4, Leeds 1. And final thoughts from Neal Mellor, who's been sat alongside me this evening.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it today, back to winning ways at home, and just letting the Championship know, we're up there near the top of the league, and that's where we want to stay, with a brilliant performance tonight. Certainly the best performance I've seen of the night.
Many thanks to Neal Mellor alongside me for joining me in the commentary box this evening. It's finished Preston 4, Leeds 1.
Well, Paul, you wanted your team to bounce back in style. They couldn't have done any better, could they?
No, not at all. I mean, we wanted a reaction from the players, and I don't think we could have asked for any more. I thought right from the first whistle, the attitude was absolutely first class. We talked early on in the week about stopping balls getting into strikers' feet, and the midfield players doing a job for us there. And I thought right through the side we were excellent. You know, some good performances that everybody will take notice of. People like Nugent, Simon Whaley with their attacking play, Dichio getting another goal. But it's people like Chilvers and Shaun who don't get any credit, and I think they've been absolutely magnificent tonight for us.
Would you say that was the best performance of the season so far?
Yeah, I think it probably would be. I would have to say that. We're always nitpicking, so it's disappointed we didn't keep a clean sheet. But you know, maybe we have to just take that. But I thought everybody tonight's been excellent. Performance from everybody excellent. Work rate excellent. Couldn't ask any more. And a magnificent crowd, great atmosphere, and everything right about it for us tonight.
Well, Nuge, would you say that was your best performance of the season so far?
Yeah, it's one of them. You know, the Wolves game as well. They scored 2 goals, but you know, especially against Leeds as well. You know, there's a bit of history with the clubs. You know, to win it the way we did, it's fantastic for the club.
2 great assists early on, and then to score a goal as well. You must be delighted.
Yeah, I was involved in every goal. You know, I've set the first 2 up. I've scored a goal. You know, but I'm a bit of I'd rather be a team player, you know, as well, just not scoring goals. You know, I've done both tonight, so you know, I'm pretty happy.
In one way, that 15-minute delay seemed to just heighten the atmosphere, didn't it? Because the fans were so expectant when it finally kicked off.
Yeah, I think you find that when you get delays. I like it when the ref comes and says a delay. I mean, I've been involved in games where there's been half a dozen times where there's been a delay, and it's always worked to our advantage. And I always say, make sure we're not the ones who are using the excuse of the delay and whinging about it. And definitely wasn't that case tonight. And we've done it straight from the first whistle. Got off to a great start, settled everybody down, and we've took it on from there. Not sat back and relaxed. We've kept going and going and got our rewards. And maybe it should have even been more than 4. Maybe they've got out of jail a little bit tonight, because there could have been sendings off for them. There could have been a goalkeeper leaving in the first half, and I'm happy with 4-1, but it could have been even more.
Everyone kept saying that last season's past and all that with Leeds was forgotten, but it wasn't really, was it?
No, it wasn't. There's no, after the playoffs, you know what some of their players said. You know, enjoy Colchester away next season, stuff like that. You know, it's nice to put one over them. You know, especially a 4-1 victory. You know, 3-0 it was won. You know, but they pulled on back. You had a few chances after that. You know, and the 4th goal really killed them. You know, we're all happy in the change rooms and all buzzing.